thing. One of the biggest things that I'm super passionate about nutrition, and I really feel like if we just say to people, eat this way, count these containers, track your food, do this workout, and we never tell people why they're doing these things, they're much more likely that when life sort of gets the best of them, right? They have a really stressful day at work, or, they lose their job, or their kids are acting up. It's really easy to just revert back to your old habits when life throws you a curveball. And a lot of times we do that. Number one, sometimes life just gets the best of us, but also because we don't know why we're eating a certain way. So I know from all these years of eating this way that even when I get stressed out, it's good for me to still do my workouts. It actually releases feel-good endorphins. And I know that from like reading and really understanding why health and fitness is so important. And it's the same thing on the nutrition front. I know that eating 5 to 6 small meals a day, I know that pairing certain foods together, I know why I'm eating that way. Metabolism, sustained energy. I don't have those peaks and valleys in my energy level. Like, I understand the quality of the foods that I'm eating. If my scale's not moving, it's probably because the quality of foods. And so everything that we're learning is totally lifestyle focused. It's not crash diet. This is something that doesn't matter what your age is. Like, I did a live video yesterday on my Instagram where I talked about my scale not budging, and I was really frustrated. And I talked about my age, and I said, I just feel like as I get a little bit older, like it just wants to stick to me a little bit more. It doesn't want to come off as fast as it used to. But I was like, I'm not letting that be an excuse. I also know that I'm not eating from the top of the yellow list. I know that I'm eating like the bottom of the yellow list. I know that my fruits haven't been that great. I know that my blue containers have been cheese instead of like avocados and almonds. Like, I know from experience that some of that's on me, right? Yes, I may have to work a little harder at it, but I can now, because I've been doing this for so long, I can identify certain things that are definitely the trigger. And so I'm just excited. Like, I'm really excited. And I hope that you guys are embracing this. And I hope that you're doing the program and integrating it into whatever challenge groups that you're running, and that you're educating yourself on the difference between 2B Mindset and Ultimate Portion Fix, because we have 2 really great solutions to offer people in addition to the fitness side of it too. So anyways, I'm like on this countdown approach to Ultimate Portion Fix. Is sort of every day I'm going to be dripping out something else about it. I'm just honestly pulling from things that I'm learning through the Ultimate Portion Fix program, since we as coaches get to do it now. So one thing I want to encourage you to do is I want you to set a goal for yourself, right? So every single one of you should have a goal. Anytime we launch a product or program, you should really have like a goal for that product launch. How many challenge packs do you want to sell, right? How many coaches do you want to sign up? How many new customers do you want to have? So I always write that at the top of my paper. So for example, right, that's what I did for this week, is on my planner I have over here, I've got, okay, this is my goal for the week. This is what I want to happen, right? This is the number of people that I want to have signed up. And then I have my content planned out accordingly so that it's perfectly in line. I can say, okay, I'm making this live video because I want people to fill out the application for my Ultimate Portion Fix group, right? I know I'm making this post because it's going to direct people back to fill out that Ultimate Portion Fix application or to ask me for more information. So everything I'm doing this week is either coaching related or Ultimate Portion Fix related. So it's just very specific with those 2 areas and focus of what I'm doing. All right. Okay. So a couple of other just quick announcements for you guys. We have Super Saturday coming up in April. So the weekend of April 13th. Am I right on saying that? April 13th. Okay. So what I want you guys to think about is, number one, am I somebody that's going to host an event, or am I going to like go to an event? So if you go into the Coach Online office and you look at the banner, it's like, I forget which tab it's under. It's under training or news. I can't remember now, but there is an events section in there. And it's pretty easy. You just click along the top. I can't remember off the top of my head, but they actually list out every single time somebody registers a Super Saturday event, the link goes up in there. And so I would encourage you to go to a location that is close to you. It doesn't have to be our team. You don't even have to know the people that are hosting it. But I would encourage you to go take a friend. Like my first Super Saturday I went to, I was like a coach for 2 weeks. And I showed up, I knew nobody, I had no idea what was going on. And they showed this video of the Elite 10 trip. and they went to like, where did they go that year? I think that was the France trip. And I remember watching that going, wow, people really like are successful at this business, you know? And I remember listening to the trainings and talking to other people, and I went with a friend, and it was just the two of us. We knew nobody else, but we went and made friends. And from there, it sort of like turned on the light bulb of there were opportunities for me to really be successful. And it also, they were really bad at running Super Saturdays. And I was like, we're going to do our own event next time. And so we actually ran the next Super Saturday, we did our own, and we had like 30 people in a little local clubhouse. And from there, it grew to over 1,000 people in the Pittsburgh area. So go to events, meet people. It's like we work at home in our own space, so make sure you go. It's like good to see other people's faces every once in a while too. So go to an event, right? We'll start sharing links. Anybody that's hosting a Super Saturday, guys, drop it in the team pages so we can get that out to people, so people know. I will actually be in Rochester, New York, for their Super Saturday. So if anybody's close to that, come to that. And then on Sunday, I'll be back in Pittsburgh because Joel Freeman is coming, and he is doing a live workout here in Pittsburgh. So you can either go to Rochester or Pittsburgh. I'll be in both places on Saturday and Sunday. So yeah, I see some people talking about where they are going already. All right. Another thing is, for those of you that are new coaches, success starters, make sure you familiarize yourself with the Success Starter program. And then you are really focused on getting Success Club your first 3 consecutive months that you are a Team Beachbody coach. And that's either the month you signed up or the month after. So if you signed up in February, your first month could be February or March. But once you start that clock, then it's 3 consecutive months. You actually earn a free ticket to our annual Coach Summit that is in Indianapolis in July of this year. And for those of you that have gone before, know that it is one of the best events that you could ever go to. Number one, just great training, great motivation, personal development, but our whole team is there, and you really get to kind of soak in the culture of Team Beachbody and just what a family feel that it truly does have. So make sure you go. My first year of Summit, I roomed with like it was just me and Matt, but we put our like flight on a Southwest credit card that you had, like you could get a free flight if you spent a certain amount of money. And then I think we lived off of like bars, Shakeology, and oatmeal from McDonald's. Like we were dirt poor when we went, and we were just like ate whatever we could. We bought food at the grocery store, kept it in the room, and a lot of other girls roomed with 4 other people, you know, so go. Like I really want you to go and experience it. All right, my last announcement to you guys is a Success Club trip. So in 2 weeks, we are leaving for the Success Club cruise. So a lot of people have registered or have earned their spot on the Success Club trip. And so for everybody listening, if you're new, I want you to know that you can go on the Success Club trip next year, but you have to put yourself on that wait list. All right. And the trips are awesome. They are a great way, again, for you to vacation with like-minded people. Like we're taking our family. So my husband and my boys are going with us. And if you earn Success Club, you actually get your trip paid for. So the more points you earn, the faster you pay for your trip, and the faster you get off the wait list. So all you need to do is go into the Coach Online office, go to the Success Club trip tab, put your name on the list. You don't have to do anything. You have to pay anything. They'll send you an email whenever you come off that wait list. But all you need to focus on is rocking your Success Club points every month to get a spot. And then I want to just say this. When you are earning Success Club points, it's not just a trip. It's not just Success Starters. It's not just on-stage recognition. That stuff's cool. But Success Club, the number of points that you have is that's your income. That's a predictor of your income level. The more points you have, the more faster you're making money. The more Success Club points that you're getting is the more lives that you're actually making an impact on, right? So think about it that way. So you get to determine the size of your impact, and you can quantify that by looking at that Success Club number. And you can get leads and people from the company that they're giving to you as well that are going to help drive your commissions and your income as well. So just keep that in mind. It's not just about a trip. It's not just about being a Success Club starter. Like that's great. That's important. Those are great recognition benchmarks, but you know, that does drive your income. It drives everything else too. Okay. All right. So I think that's the only things that I had that I wanted to share. So I am going to turn it over to Rachel. So Rachel is an elite coach. She's a 5-star diamond elite coach from Mississippi. And she is going to share with us some great knowledge about Instagram. And I'm really pumped for her to be on here tonight. So Rachel, I know that not everybody knows you. So will you just give a little introduction about you, and let's welcome her to the call.
Yes, I'm happy to. Hey, you guys. Yes, I live in Mississippi. Hey, Marcy. So I have an accent. You guys can all like film me and tag me in Instagram stories and say she's Southern, y'all. Because I'm horrible at taking pictures on these calls. So y'all seriously take a picture and tag me. But yes, I am a 5-star elite coach for the first time in 2018, 2019, however they categorize that. But I've been a coach since August of 2014. And let me tell you, I would imagine there are a lot of newer coaches on here. And guys, like, I had no idea. I had no idea what I was stepping off into. And it was scary and it was overwhelming and social media was crazy. But I'm sitting here on the other side 5 years later just to tell you, stick with it. Stick with it, sister. It is such a blessing. So I've been a coach for 5 years. I started as just a little hobby coach. I came out of Melanie's boot camp and said yes to coaching, and just had this feeling in my gut, like I didn't know if I was going to be good at it. I'd never been good at anything else before. And I just said yes. And so I stuck with it every month. Every month I showed up to a call, and every month I hit Success Club, barely, sometimes by the skin of my teeth. And then I just continued to grow, and I just continued to grow with it. And so that is the key to being successful at this business. It's not coming in and being a top coach from the beginning. It's being willing to learn and to grow and to implement a lot of the things that I'm going to share with you guys tonight. So I have been able to leave my full-time job as a college history instructor. I do it part-time now. I teach 2 mornings a week, and so I'm home the rest of the time doing this, and I am so thankful for it every single day. So tonight I want to help you. Melanie asked me to speak about sharing your story and using Instagram posts, Instagram stories, and y'all, there's so many different directions that I could go with this. I'm going to share my screen right now. There's so many different directions I could go with this, but I always teach my team that our content, the way that I have personally built my business, is that content generates conversations that convert to customers. And so owning your story and being able to tell your story consistently, to tell it well, not to be the perfect person, not to have the perfect photos, although that's very important, but just owning your story every single day on social media is going to bring people into your business who are like you, who want to connect with you, and who will be your future customers and coaches. So that's what I'm going to talk to you about. So our goal with social media, with what we put out there, is to share our story in a way that, one, I think credibility is huge. Credibility has been something that has moved my business forward, even if it was just by little bitty steps at times. But showing up on social media on a consistent basis and not taking a few days off because I felt bad, or not taking a few days off because somebody told me no, or not taking a few days off when 5 coaches quit in the same day, but just continuing to build that consistency and be credible in your health and fitness. And as you grow your business, that builds people. And again, I am nobody. I am just a girl who did what my coach told me to, and I continued to do it every single day, and people started to trust me in my health and fitness journey and in the business. And so that's what I want to encourage you guys to do. Whether you post once a day, whether you post 4 times a day, whether you do 20 stories, or whether you do 10, it doesn't matter. Just be consistent and build credibility. So with our story, with our content, with our Instagram posts and our Instagram stories, I learned this long time ago, and I can't even remember when. It was early in my business, but I really stick to 3 main purposes, 3 main goals with the content that I put out. I want to inspire people, I want to educate people, or I want to entertain people. Anything other than that is just fluff, honestly. I don't want to post just to be putting a post up there. I ask myself, as I'm writing out my content, what do I want to accomplish with this? Do I want to just make somebody feel empowered to go and do something? Do I want to make somebody laugh? Do I want to make somebody really dig deep and think about their own story and take ownership of their own story? Do I want to just let somebody know who I am, what kind of things I love, what we do on the weekends with the family? Like, those are my main goals. So inspiring people is important because we know there's a lot of junk out there on social media. Life is hard. We want to motivate somebody in our businesses every day, even if it's just one person, to get up off the couch, to stop scrolling through social media, and to get up and do something productive for themselves. We want to be a light in a social media world that can be pretty dark. Honestly, we want to educate you guys. Value has to be something that saturates your newsfeed and saturates your stories. Otherwise, you're just somebody else out there talking about her life. But if you're adding value, if you're educating people on the things that we are learning, Ultimate Portion Fix is a perfect example, you guys. You have something every single day. Like, I binge watched my videos today, getting into the pick your plan thing. And I was just in awe. I've been using the portion containers for years, and I still learn something every time Autumn talks. And so she gives us tips for things to share on social media. And then even if she's not giving you tips, like, everything that Beachbody gives us is an opportunity for us to educate other people, and to make them to want to come back, to want to join your boot camp so that they can get more and to go deeper. So definitely be adding value and education. And then I like to entertain. And I don't think that, don't look over this. I think it's really important that people don't just see business Rachel or fitness Rachel. I want people to see, like, that, my kids drive me crazy some days, or there's piles of laundry in the laundry room. I like to say things that my kids say that are funny, that, like, knock me down and humble me a little bit. I love to share the letter boards, you guys. People love the letter boards, with just the little quick quotes. One I did recently about hiding on the couch or something like that, it, like, blew up. People want to relate to you. And if you're all fitness and you're all business and they don't know who you are, then again, they're not gonna have that trust and that credibility. So entertain people with your life, because we're all entertaining, right? And this is really important. With every post, every story, you guys, like, you have to learn this. It's not something that comes naturally, or it did not to me. It probably does to a handful of people, but you want to post in such a way that people engage with you, whether you're asking for advice on an outfit, or whether you're saying, my kid just talk sass to me. Does your kid do it too? Or whether you're talking about something that you really struggle with, that's really serious, and you ask other people to relate. Or if you use polls in your stories, or the little question boxes, you want to talk and speak and post in such a way that people want to talk back with you. And so I'm going to talk about that a little bit more as we get into this. I wish I had time to go deeper there, but just have that in the back of your mind as you're creating your content. How can what I'm about to say, the picture that I'm going to post, the story that I'm going to put up, how can I get people to engage back with me, right? So we're not just putting it out there just to check a box. We want to create relationships. All right. I think I just said that all. Just think action. What can I say or post that will make people stop watching and take action? That's important. All right, so when you're creating your content, I'm going to share some of my best tips with you for just like your Instagram feed. Obviously, I could get into pictures, I could get into all that, I could get into like filters and all that stuff, but I really want to talk to you about like content, the meat of your content. Know your market. So I am a 38-year-old mom of 2 boys, right? I am not competing in any bikini competitions anytime soon. I don't struggle with menopause yet. I don't, there's lots of things I'm not, right? But there are a lot of things that I am. So I took this picture the other day, it was last week, and I noticed that my pants had slid down while I was working out, and my fluff was hanging over, and I was like, I don't want to show anybody that. But then I was like, I think I need to, because I don't want anybody to look at me and think, she's had 2 babies, she works out, it's so easy for her. I have the fluff too. Like, I fight the fluff just like everybody else does, right? So I made a post about that. It was about own your reality. And I was talking to moms who beat themselves up about what they look like and their bodies and things like that. And I was talking about own where you are and what you are and love it no matter what. Work out because you love who you are and you're created on purpose, right? So that's what that post was. Like, I can strike a pose all day long that makes me look good, but that's not reality. And I'm talking to a whole bunch of other mamas who could do the same thing, but they don't know how to strike the pose and look good, right? So I want them to see my reality. So know your market. Like, who are you talking to? What do other women struggle with as they watch your feed? How can you speak directly to them right where they're at? And it's really important to catch people's attention. I've watched Melanie do this a lot lately in her team page, and she'll review people's social media feed, and she'll start to read their posts, and she's like, she'll start to read through it, and she's like, oh, you lost me. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't want Melanie to read my feed, and I don't want to lose her. So like, I've really tried to up my game, because I think if I lose Melanie, I'm losing other people, right? And so like, I really like to try to catch people's attention either with the photo, with two things, the photo as well as the first few lines of my post. So obviously this post is for a specific group of people. It is for people who own a business. I'm not talking to the mama who's not working a business, who's trying to get fit and healthy. This is for a specific group of people, and I want to catch their attention. So the photo was just a photo I took after church one day when my hair looked good, and I still had my church clothes on, and I took a bunch of photos, and I used it later in the week. But I said, hey, business building mama. And I didn't just stop there. There are spaces in my text. And then even if somebody doesn't read that next line, they're going to see it's overwhelming. And I put the little emojis and things like there, right there. And so like, I'm just sharing very honestly about the beginning of my business, but I want to get people to read it. Yes, the photo is eye-catching, but I want the wording to be such that people just continue to read, because I don't want them to read the first two lines and then keep scrolling, right? And so think about those things when you're writing your post. How can you catch their attention with the first line? And then how can you write it and use emojis or all caps or things like that in such a way that they want to keep reading it, you guys, because it's easy to be boring. It is so easy to be boring and just another selfie person out there. What is your purpose with the post, and how can you word it in such a way, a unique way, that somebody continues to read it? That's really important. Here's another thing. I know that this book would speak directly to my niche market. So this is my quiet time in the morning. This is a brand new book by Jenny Allen. If you know who she is an She created If Gathering. And it's a new book. And I knew a lot of people were talking about it. So I wanted to share something from my quiet time. And I also wanted to get people to stop and read what I wanted to say. And so I knew the image would catch my market's attention, right? And I also used a little warning sign up there, and I said, if you want God to take you deeper, he's gonna. And so like, people are gonna want to read what I have to say and what God spoke to me, right? So I was catching attention not only with the photo, but also with the wording that I used. And so that's something I've really tried to do, especially those early morning posts. I mean, I want to do it with all posts, but that's what I try to do with everything. Sorry, my husband's distracting me. Okay, so also, like I said, we definitely want to entertain. Throw in some fun. Again, like, our feeds can't be boring. Like, they can't be boring. And sometimes, yes, as exciting as our fitness transformations are, as exciting as that highest paycheck is, like, you gotta have fun. You want people to know that there's like a quirky side to you, or like you love fitness and you buy too many clothes, or that, like you have a shoe fetish, or that you love to eat like tofu straight out of the box. I don't know. I don't do that, but something weird, tell something weird about you. But this was a letter board that the letter boards always catch my market's attention. I don't know why, but I saw this somewhere else and I snapped it like weeks in advance, and I saved it for when I needed some engagement because I knew it was really going to get a lot of engagement. And so I didn't say much. I just said, I tagged the person who posted it. I said, you nailed it. And I asked a question, right? So because I wanted people to engage with me, and it got a lot of engagement for me. And so that is something. So just have fun, just be yourself, take a crazy picture of your kids, or, like if your toenail chipped off, like post a picture and say, mamas, can you relate? Like, I haven't had a pedicure in a year, and whatever, just tell something unique about yourself and just quirky that you wouldn't expect other people to maybe think is perfect or something like that. So here's my last tip for just your public feed. So I've been talking about your posts, like your Instagram posts. Definitely go live, you guys. Like Melanie and I were talking about this recently in one of our pods. I started to go live like every day, and I've been doing it for 2 or 3 weeks now. And not just going live, but I'm going live. I'm keeping it under 10 minutes, and I'm posting it the IGTV or whatever it's called. And I have gotten so many new followers, or maybe they're not new followers, but they're engaging with me in a different way, and comments and messages. And, you know, it's not like, honestly, I haven't recruited a ton of new people through these Instagram lives, but I know that I will, because everything takes time to build. But it is something different. It is a change in Instagram's algorithm, and they are definitely rewarding us for going live. I think this was my unboxing of my Ultimate Portion Fix, and it's just a screenshot. But I just went live and I talked about the stuff that I got and why I was excited about it. I talked about certification. I talked about the focus of my boot camp, and then I just saved the the video, and I uploaded it to Instagram TV. And when you do that, Instagram keeps it in your newsfeed now. So that's kind of new, I think. So that it doesn't just sit up there and people have to click on it. Like if they go to your feed, or if they're scrolling, like I saw Melanie's earlier, I didn't go to her feed, but I saw her Instagram live that they put up there. So go live, you guys. And it doesn't have to be like, it doesn't have to be all professional. It doesn't have to be like well scripted. That's the point of live. You want to be yourself, and you want to have a direct message, obviously. But like one night I went live about Milo and his bedroom and how dirty it was, and people loved it. I don't think I uploaded that to IGTV, but you know, like I do go live every day now, just to keep that algorithm going, and to keep those new eyes, and to engage those people who maybe just interact with me through live videos. So don't be scared to do that. And they can be, I would say, anywhere from like 5 to 10 TV. So that's important to pay attention to. All right. So whenever you do make your posts, you know, I told you to think about like, how can I make people engage? Obviously we can post every single day. We can do stories, but if people aren't feeling the desire to talk to us, to reach out to us, to respond to our posts or our stories, then we're not really building those relationships. We're not putting out content that starts conversations. Remember, that is our goals. I will tell you, I do not cold invite anyone. I don't cold invite anyone. I always connect with people, either something that's not related to health and fitness, or people have been watching me for a while and they'll answer my polls or things like that. I don't cold invite. I start a lot of conversations based on my daily content. But how do you do that? I love to ask questions in my posts and in my polls, right? So get specific. I think it was Melanie that shared something similar to this recently, but like, don't ask, you know, like, what do you eat for breakfast? Or don't just ask, like, do you eat all 4 meals? Like, ask people in your post, skip breakfast this morning, right? Did you skip breakfast today? Get specific. Does your kid have exercise-induced asthma? We just found that out about Milo recently. I could be like, you know, our kid has asthma. Can anybody else relate? No, I say, does your kid, sorry, that's my reminder to message people watching my stories. So does your kid have like exercise-induced asthma? Like, get specific about what you're asking people. Even if it's funny, if it's about laundry, like how many loads of laundry do you have right now in your laundry room, right? So get specific when you ask questions. And the point is to get people to comment. And when they comment, you respond to those comments, and it boosts your performance on your posts, and more people see it. Be interested, like be genuinely interested. If you're putting out that value, I love to ask people, like I did that tonight on my business post. Did this help? Like, did this help you? Do you want to see more business tips? What type of business tips can I help you with? If this helps, tag a friend that could benefit from this as well. Be genuinely interested in serving other people, and ask them to tell you that. There's nothing bad about that. And when people do that, even if it's people not related to the coaching industry, it still helps other people see your posts and engage with you more. Be very relatable. You know, like I said, that post, the letter board, was about like sitting on the couch, hiding and pretending to do work. Like, do you know how many mamas were like, I'm doing that right now? And so like I ask people, say, are you doing this? Like, do you ever do this? Are you doing this right now? Tell me the truth. So be very relatable. That helps a lot. And we're so imperfect, you guys. Nobody wants to follow a perfect coach. So share it all. Share the good, the bad, and the ugly. And people will relate to that. Celebrate others. You know, we have that recognition. It's one of our vital behaviors. Whenever you shout someone out, whether it's a team member, whether it's like a transformation of somebody on your team, like I used Chris Parrott a couple of weeks ago, and I said, will you give Chris a heart? I said, will you drop her a heart and encourage her? Ask people to take action and help you celebrate other people. Again, I think that brings a lot of credibility to our businesses. And the last thing is just tell people what to do. If you want them to like your post, tell them, double tap. Tag a friend, like and share. You'd be surprised at how many people will actually do that. And when they do that, it helps your post perform better. So don't be afraid to ask people to do something. And this is something you'll get better at. It seems awkward at first. It seems just kind of weird, but you'll really see the benefit when you ask people to take action. Okay. All right. I'll answer questions when we're done too, but ask me anything. So your profile, definitely, I know that, you know, other teams, I know Melanie has talked about this a lot lately, but your profile shouldn't just be something that says like fitness coach or mom or things like that. Like, get specific with who you are. I don't think that just by reading my profile that you would know that I'm a Beachbody coach. I don't want you to know that, right? Sometimes I even remove my link tree because I feel like when I see a link tree, I'm like, oh, she wants to sell something, right? So that's for me personally. But I think it's important to have it there. Sometimes I just put my blog link, and that suffices because I have links to other things there. But let people know who you are at first glance. Be very specific. And the content that you put out should reflect the things that your bio says. So if I say I'm a boy mama, but you don't ever see any pictures of my boys, then people are going to be like, what? If I say I'm serving other women, but I don't recognize anyone else or shout anyone else out, then it's still not validating what I have up there. Surviving mommyhood, that's where I expect some crazy mom posts, like kid quotes or whatever from me. Southern gal and goal getter, that is, like, I say y'all a lot. I say y'all in my posts. I say y'all in my stories. And so like that is just my Southern girl coming out, right? I have a way for people to contact me, and I have that link tree there if they want more information. And so definitely, I said always include a link tree link or some type of link. In that link, can I encourage you to give something away? It can be like, sometimes I just have my free devotions up there. Sometimes I have a link to a free meal plan, but give people something so they know you're not just there to take, right? I think that's really important, and that builds trust and credibility as well. But definitely have a way to send people outside of Instagram through your posts and your stories so that they can learn more about you and what you have to offer as a coach, right? Like I said, our content should definitely reflect what our bio says. Now let's move on to stories, okay? I love Instagram stories and hate them all at the same time, a little bit. I think they're great. They've really, my business is built off of Instagram stories, but it was something I had to learn because we didn't have this as new coaches. Like, it was something thrown at us that everybody resisted at first, and now everybody just has to do it, right? But I do enjoy it because you get to be a little bit more yourself. But one of the things, I know that everybody's like, oh, stand out, you know, but part of standing out is predictability, right? People know what to expect from me in my stories. Every day I wake up, I do my quiet time, I share scripture or some type of takeaway from my quiet time. I show people usually that, like, either I check in with my challenge groups or I look at my planner. Like, I always have my planner there, and I'll show a shot in my planner because I want people to know that I work, right? It's not just all fun and selfies and working out and stuff like that. That is part of the job, but I want people to know that actually, like, I'm answering emails, I'm checking in with my challengers, I'm creating content. And so I like to show that stuff throughout the day. But be predictable. Create your own routines and habits. Why? Because other mamas out there either want that they want that routine, or they already have it and they want to connect with you over something like that. Okay. So be very real, but don't be afraid to throw in something different. Like if I wake up and I just am tired, or I've had a bad day the day before, or I ate something that I shouldn't have and I slept in, then, like I share that truth and that honesty. But people expect my content that I put out in the morning. And again, it's just that consistency. Consistency is credibility, and people trust you the more consistent that you are. So whatever your routine looks like, don't think, oh, I posted about that yesterday, I'm not going to do it again today. That builds trust, and that's what people come back for. So be predictable just a little bit. Be more than a coach. We're not just fitness coaches. I don't want people just to connect with me because they want to lose weight. I want people who are going to be my friends. I want people who have kids, who have a lot of trouble making interior design decisions too, right? So engage over non-fitness. This is on my social media plan. I don't have it in front of me. Every single day, I have it written on there. Engage over non-fitness, right? So that means I'm going to ask a question or put a poll in there every single day that has to do nothing with fitness. And these are just a couple of examples. Again, I asked a question about Milo and the asthma. Today I asked one about, are your kids out for spring break? Some are like, we're trying to pick out floors. Like, does this help me pick out a floor, right? So don't overthink it, but go back to your bio. Who am I? I'm a boy mom, right? I'm faith focused. I am, yes, I'm building a business, but like, what are the things that people are coming back to me for? And so I try to include something every single day, right? And again, don't overthink it. You may think your life is boring, but it's really not. So just ask for feedback from people, okay? Recognize. I do try to recognize people daily. And again, this is one that I feel like a lot of coaches have trouble with, because they're like, either I don't have a team, or I don't have challengers, or whatever. And I tell people, just start with people that inspire you. It can be like somebody in another business industry. It could be your mom. It could be your best friend. It could be another coach on your team. But recognizing other people and making sure that this is not just about us is really important. So like I said, if somebody new joins your challenge group, coaches stepping outside of their comfort zone, rank advancements, when people earn their highest paychecks, transformations. If there are other coaches, all you have to do is go to their Instagram feed, hit the little arrow, and share it to your stories. And, I know a lot of coaches are worried about, well, what if they join her instead of me? I think that if you're branding yourself and you're being yourself, then you're going to get the people that relate to you. So that's really important. We can't be afraid to shout out other people. This is another thing that I've really tried to do more of, is be the expert. Obviously, I don't have an education in nutrition. I'm not a fitness trainer, but again, Beachbody has given us the tools that we need to really serve other people well, to share enough tips and knowledge that it helps people in their own decisions, right? Share the knowledge that you have gained. If you're watching Ultimate Portion Fix videos, like, take notes. You should have a Bible of things that you can share about for the rest of your life just from Ultimate Portion Fix, right? If your challengers ask you a question about the portion containers, or they ask you a question about, why is peanut butter and almond butter, like, why are they different? Like, do a little story about it. Do a post about it. Be proof that what you're learning, that you're implementing, and that it works. And again, give information away. This was a story series I did on fruit the other day. And, it may not have generated a ton of conversation, but people probably know, well, if she's doing that here, then she's putting that information and more in her challenge group, right? So I want people to want more from me. So I've been trying to educate a lot. Invite every day. This is scary too for a lot of coaches, and I see a lot of coaches not doing it, but I invite every single day to my boot camps. I invite more in my stories than I do in my posts, and it just seems to be working well for me, because I put enough content out there that I'm not just constantly asking for something, but I always, always, always invite in my stories. And honestly, I alternate. Today it was coaching. Tomorrow, like, I already have a plan to ask people about, what their fitness goals. Do you just want to lose weight, learn how to eat clean? Are you preparing for a specific event? or are you wanting to get stronger in your workouts? Those are the 3 plans from Autumn's Ultimate Portion Fix, right? So I'm going to ask those questions and connect with the people who vote in those polls, right? So these stories go away every 24 hours. And so I just invite every single day, show that other people are signing up. Like a lot of these people who signed up right away for my Ultimate Portion Fix group were already coaches, but it didn't matter. Like I said that they signed up for it. You know, I continued to put their names on the board and kind of create that fear of missing out. And instead of posting a picture of Autumn and the Ultimate Portion Fix, I posted a picture of me. I explained underneath it what it was, like home workouts, meal plans, recipes, our sisterhood of support, daily inspiration. And there's obviously like a faith focus to my groups too. And so I just give them a way to contact me. I either tell them to swipe up or I put a poll in it. And that is how I invite. And I've really, really, really been trying to share this every day. I haven't done it perfectly, but I try to share this image and like the tally of who's signing up every single day, because I want people to know that it's there. It's an option. Come join us. People are doing it. Come join us, right? And so I do that every day. And then the last thing that I want to talk to you guys about is the Plan app. If you are on the Dream Team or my team or anybody else's, we have crammed this down your throat because it is amazing, you guys. Like if we are going to create content that generates conversation, that turns people into customers, we have to be purposeful about it. You can't just say, oh, I need to make 1-2 posts a day. I need to make some stories. You've got to plan it out. Please, please, please trust us with that. It is hairy, it's messy, it's awkward at first, but like every single weekend, I plan out my posts for the week. I may not get all the photos taken for them. So like here on the left is a screenshot of my plan for the week. I don't honestly have a lot of the photos because we're actually going out of town this week. So I know a lot of my photos will be taken there, right? But I know what I want each post to be. Like I knew that pink one on the bottom left was my business tip post tonight. Behind the scenes, Transformation Tuesday, Mom Life. You know, like I know what I want those posts to be. The one with the plates is I'm going to talk about something Autumn, no, actually heard it in a sermon about the fact that in the 50s and 60s, the average plate size was like 9 inches. And today it's like 13. It's 15 at restaurants, right? So I just put that image in there for filler, but I know what I'm going to say, right? And so this helps me plan based on my goals. It helps me write a much clearer message, and I'm not scrambling, honestly, and taking time away from my family trying to write a post at all times of the day, right? And so I plan out my content. I have this pretty consistent rhythm to my posts that, you know, Monday mornings are never miss a Monday. I usually share a business tip on Monday night. Tuesdays are always transformation. Wednesdays are usually like education and a mom life, something very relatable. Thursdays are coaching posts, typically like some type of soft invite. And then Fridays are either like Flex Friday, about me, and Friday night's always family night. People always expect that for me, right? Again, I'm kind of predictable, but people love that. And so like that helps me have a clear marketing plan for my business. Also, plan will tell you how your posts perform. So they'll show you which posts perform the best. And you can say, oh, it was the picture, oh, or it was my message, or how I worded it. You know, I didn't expect like the picture of the white sectional on Friday night. I threw that one up, honestly. I didn't plan that one. But I got so much feedback on Facebook. It was like crazy. But it's my life. It's nobody else's life. Nobody else can claim this. This is my story right here, right? And so also use your hashtags. You have to have 30 hashtags. Plan will actually let you save sets of hashtags. And so after a call with Melanie in our Success Pod the other day, I really worked on mine and I created a few of them. But use your hashtags. This is how people find you. And once you create 3 or 4 sets, you have them and you take a lot of the guesswork out of what you're doing as a coach. And again, people who are going to relate to you are going to relate to you based on what you use. All right. So that's my story. That's it. That is what I'm sharing. Okay. So let me see your questions. Okay. ask people to look over my posts. Yeah, it's really important, you guys. Like if you're not having somebody evaluate your feed and your posts and even your stories, like you've got to, because it's easy for us to write them and know what we intended to say and the message that we intended to get across. But if it's not coming across to other people, then we need to work on it, right? Do I go live at the same time every day? Oh, heck no. I just go live whenever either I'm inspired or whenever I have 5 minutes to myself and a light somewhere, right? Honestly, because I do like for my lighting to be good when I do that, because I can tell a difference. Like if I do a story and it's dark, or if I go live and there's not good lighting, like I can tell not as many people watch it. And do you have specific planned content for the lives? Yes, I typically do. Again, I don't have my thing in front of me, my social media planner, but I do try to. Like some days it might just be like go live with something from personal development, some type of inspiration. But I have been using this, like this 21 days of like 21 day fix tips. So like some days I'll go live and share a meal, or I'll talk about like healthy fats or different proteins or things like that. So I go back, what does my bio say? My bio says I'm a mom. I'm focused on faith. I've built a business. And so I really honestly try to vary it throughout the week. I don't want to go live about the same thing all week. I try to keep it to that. What app do I use for catchy stories? Okay, so I use my favorites. The one from the March bootcamp, that was Canva. I did that in Canva. And so I don't use that one as much. I use a lot of Unfold and Mojo. Mojo is the one that like makes the pictures move in and out. Unfold is just like the white background, or you can make a different background, but it's pretty too. And I try to use those more so for like my invites, but I also don't want people to see those more structured stories and think, oh, she's about to invite me. So I kind of try to vary that up a little bit too, but I do like to make them pretty, because a lot of time I put words on them and it tells the story in a way that I can't, because I don't want like a ton of just me talking. I click out of people who just talk, right? So I like try to put the words on my photos too, and that way people can go back and look at them again and read it again. What do I use to create those story layouts? What do you mean, Camilla? What story layouts? Yeah, I use Plan for pretty much everything. And you can plan out your stories in Plan, but I don't know. Is that what you meant? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. Anybody else? Does anybody else have questions? Anybody else? I'll share the slides with Melanie too, if anybody wants to go back and look at those. But that's my plan. PLANN. That's my plan. That's how I do it, and it works. It works for me. And you just have to always be like, pay attention. And my comments and stuff have been way down. I don't know why. I know that doing live videos is helping, but there's been definitely a shift. So I just have to play with it and try to find new ways. What hashtags work best to draw people to your page? Honestly, just like, I can share that again, but the things that are really not that are specific. I think that the ones like, honestly, for me, the faith-based ones do a lot. And then I've been using, honestly, we have talked a lot about homeschooling people. Homeschooling our kids, not people, our kids. And so like I've started to work that in a lot. And honestly, like the last 5 challengers I've gotten are homeschool moms. So, I'm not yet. Don't know that I will be, but we've talked about it, but I've started to use that hashtag. And so like I know that they're finding me because of that hashtag, right? And so like get very specific. And I tell my team all the time, walk around your house, look at your kids' toys, look at their clothes, look at the books they read, the authors you read, like look at your brand of shoes. Like, and if it doesn't have a ton of usage, like use it. And just, I think that it's really important to create like 3 or 4 sets of 30 hashtags, and they can overlap a little bit, but use different sets of hashtags, because somebody somewhere told me that you need to alternate them out. And that's important. Yeah, no fitness hashtags. Definitely no fitness hashtags. at all. Not even like Fit Mom, Hot Mom. Like, just don't use them. Okay. All right. That is all I got, Mel.
I love it. I love it so much. I think that the biggest piece is it's really uncomfortable to start kind of planning your content. Like, I just feel like sometimes it's wonky and so to not get frustrated by it, you know, some days I can plan 3 days, some days I can only think the next 24 hours, and some days I get the whole week. So as you get ideas, I just think it's really important that you start writing it down. But that plan app is incredible and amazing, and you definitely should use it. I know they're coming out with a desktop version that's coming soon too, so you want to check that out. But I think my biggest takeaway is like always ask myself how I can get people to respond back to me. The number one thing I see with people's Instagram is they have no comments. They post every single day and they're consistent and nobody responds, like not even a comment. And like, that's what makes people quit, is because they go through the motions for so long without ever understanding, oh, people aren't commenting, maybe I should switch it up a little bit. And so I really like that. Like, okay, let's make this a game. How can we get people to respond? So today I did that kind of a post this morning. I did like what do you follow me for? And I have a bigger following. And instead of like making them comment, I made them put a heart. It was such a simple, easy thing. You know, so just try something that maybe is not even related to Beachbody at all and say, what's your favorite food? You know, pizza or, you know, cheeseburgers, or pizza or tacos, and then like have them drop an emoji below, right? And you're holding your favorite food or something. So just like think outside of the box this week to say, okay, am I just not asking the right questions in what I'm doing? So I like it a lot. I do. So good. I think this is one of the ones that you're going to need to go back and re-listen to. And it's also a really good one for coaches that are just getting started in the business too, to just make sure that you are looking at this as a strategic thing. And I like, Rachel, that you plan it, because that means that you're not always attached to your phone. It means that, you know, you're actually being a smart business owner. And I think that's important, that we don't always feel like we have to be connected 24/7. So I like that. I do. All right. Josh Coates says, do something bold within your life, hair change, dance live, do something off the wall, grab their attention. That definitely works too. Like finding anytime you guys know me, I wear my professional pants all the time. So if I were to dance on social media, that would definitely catch people's attention. It's the truth. It is the truth. So, but yeah, if you're ever wondering if people are really paying attention, do something that they wouldn't expect. They'll get you. Rachel, would you say like that one of your stomach, like where you were like just letting your pants sort of like, would you say that was one of the better engaged? Because like people respond to that real stuff.
I got more messages about that, which is a good thing, right? You know, I didn't get a ton of comments on that one, but yes. I mean, of course, people were like, you look great either way, you know, like, thanks for being real. Yeah. I got a lot of comments from my challengers, which again, I mean, that's not to take it too deep, but like, you want to show people that anybody can be a coach, you know, it's not the perfect body, that type of thing. But, yeah, I mean, anytime you do stuff like that, it's good.
Yeah. I love it. All right, guys. So now you've got some work to do. Call to action. Let's give them a call to action, Rachel. I'm going to put you on the spot. What do we want them to do?
Well, tomorrow or tonight, if you still have to post tonight, just like my challenge for you is like, do something unrelated to health and fitness. Hopefully you've done like a Never Miss a Monday or whatever, but like look around your life and say, what would somebody else relate to that I can snap a picture of, and post it. Just give a couple of little quick like sentences and say, don't say do you relate, but whatever it is. Do you, like I said, do you have a sink full of dishes that have to be done? Or, you know, just get specific and ask people a very specific question over something not related to health and fitness. Those are my best posts, you guys. Like those are my best posts, and those are the ones that draw people in. And they continue to watch me, because once they engage with you once, they're going to start to watch everything and read everything. So do something not related to health and fitness and ask a question, specific question.
I love it. I wrote it down. Game on.
Okay.
All right, guys. Thank you so much, Rachel, for being on the call tonight and for sharing just such great tips for social media, guys. This is how we rock our business. This is how we grow our social media, and it takes a lot of practice. So be consistent with it and show up daily, and don't get discouraged. That's one of the biggest things. Like both, you heard Rachel say at the beginning, she was like, my engagement's down, my comments are down. She's like, yeah, and you can just tell in her voice. She was like, I'll figure it out. Like I'll figure out what's the reason. I'm not going to let it get to me. And so we all sort of have this like figure it out mentality. We will eventually get to the point where we know what the missing link is, right? So Rachel, we thank you so much for your time tonight, guys. We'll get you those slides. We'll get you the recording. We'll see you back here next week. We have Bailey, who is a brand new diamond coach. She went diamond in under 30 days. She is under Tasia Verno. She is going to be speaking next Monday night, kind of giving her strategies and tips for rocking her business right out of the gate. So you're not going to want to miss that call next Monday. So we will see you guys back here. I hope you have a wonderful week, and happy Portion Fix launch week, right? It'll be crazy. Next Monday at this time, we're all going to be like dead. All right. We'll see you guys later. Bye.